So debates in Washington, like the one surrounding health care, can quickly turn very ugly. But one GOP senator wants to change that by drawing on how Congress used to operate. Senator Orrin Hatch writing, quote, "When I first came to Washington, the culture of Congress was vastly different than it is today. There was a level of respect and congeniality among colleagues that was hard to find anywhere else. Some of my best friends were Democrats. One moment we would yell at each other on the Senate floor. The next we would be laughing together over family dinner." Joining me now, the senator from Utah calling for those big changes over discourse, Senator Orrin Hatch. Senator, good to have you here tonight. Thank you for being here.
Well, nice to be with you.
So your piece that you wrote caught our eye yesterday, especially in light of all of the very rough talk that is flying around these days. So what prompted you to write this piece?
Well, I think that we do have too much rough talk. We have too much division. You know, I'll just say that being just 52 Republicans and 48 Democrats Trump having won the election, it has really created an awful lot of discord among both Republicans and Democrats. But the Democrats have had a rough time accepting Trump, accepting the Republicans, and the Republicans, of course, have gotten so they're not real happy with the Democrats. I think part of that's driven by the fact that we're not really associating that much. There's so much pressure on us to get home and to travel and to raise money and to do all the other things that count. And then also there's also the usual very, very discordant issues that come up in the Senate, for instance, where we disagree with each other. But that doesn't mean you have to be disagreeable.
Yeah, I know you've said that people used to sort of send their kids to the same schools, they lived in the same neighborhoods. Now there's even distinct neighborhoods where the Republicans live and the Democrats live. And that's not just in Washington, that's across the country. Do you ever see that changing back to the way it was?
Yeah, I think it can. I have to admit that Elaine and I decided we were not going to be back here without our family, so we brought all 6 kids back with us. And because of that, of course, we were able to assimilate into the community to a degree. And of course, I went home many, many times. But one of the big things that happened there was I came back here to fight Ted Kennedy, for instance. He was somebody that people in Utah really despised. And I found that when I became chairman of the Labor Committee in 1981 with the advent of Reagan, Kennedy came over from the Judiciary Committee to become my ranking member. And I had an ideological edge of an edge of 9 to 7 as far as number of Republicans on the committee, but 2 of them were very liberal Republicans, Senator Weicker from Connecticut and Senator Stafford from Vermont. And so I went to Ted Kennedy and I said, look, I can't run this committee without you. I'm going to need your help. And to his credit, he leaped out of his chair and said, I'm going to help you. He said, I think he seized the opportunity because he realized that it was a good thing for him, it was a good thing for the country, it was a good thing for the Senate.
Do you think that's something that can happen with health care in this moment? Who's going to leap across the aisle? Who is that Ted Kennedy that you can get together with now and come to a conclusion that will make this health care program better for Americans? Because that's the bottom line.
Well, on the Senate Finance Committee, which I chair, there are a lot of really excellent Democrats. Ron Wyden, for instance, if they'd let him go, he's very capable of working with me, and he's very smart, very good, but there are a number of others on the Democrat side who, once let go by the Democrat leadership, I think could do a really good job with us, and I think it brings the Republicans along, and we seem to get along well. We have a lot of bipartisan legislation on that committee, and I intend to see that it continues.
All right. We will see what happens after the break. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Senator. Always a pleasure to see you.
Nice to be with you.